going around TikTok now that I worship the devil or something.
Bro, yeah, something's going around. Like, you have this satanic friend.
Yeah, so inside of my organization, which is called the War Room, one of the guys who works for us is a hypnotist. So he kind of looks like a bit of a magician, and he's a hypnotist.
Jeez.
And he's a hypnotist because he's very, very good at it. He's a hypnotist, which is a hypnotist who's part of the organization. There's pictures of me sitting next to him. This hand symbol, so I adopted it, and then I got comfortable doing it. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know where it's from.
And I don't think that I put a magic spell on anybody. And I'm certainly not the worst influence out here, Piers. You have little Nas twerking on the devil. But the point I'm trying to make is this: I'm not the devil. There's certainly worse people than me. And if we all knew if I was going to go to hell, I was going to take over. I walk into hell and the devil's like, oh, I'm going to burn you. So you're going to I'm going to stand there and let you burn me. Look, no, I'm like these mask wearers. No, they burn me. You touch me, I'll you up.
I'll tell you something about my father. My father was literally a spy for the CIA.
My father was in the CIA. Some right-wing people on the internet think I'm a CIA plant because my father was with intelligence. I'm not a CIA plant. So I started doing it, and people start saying, that's an Illuminati hand symbol. He's a Freemason hand symbol. I'm not associated with the Illuminati, as I've lived many different incarnations upon the planet, especially on social media platforms.
So Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate got arrested earlier today, and a lot of you guys were asking me to make a video about this because I recently exposed Andrew Tate a month ago, and I'm glad I made this video because I didn't realize how many people are idolizing Andrew Tate and Anton LaVey as well. You know, it was a lot of programmed people who idolize Andrew Tate that were mad at me in this video. And like I said in this video, it's not good to idolize anybody. Idolatry is a sin, and there's so many people idolizing this character right now. So it's really sad to see that there's so many people attached to this character. But I was happy to see that this video got a lot of positive feedback. You know, most of you guys supported the video. And this video actually helped a lot of people to detach from Andrew Tate and stop idolizing him, because he is deceiving many people right now. Out of every single celebrity I've exposed, he has to be the biggest deceiver I've ever seen. You know, he does so much double speak and mind control when he speaks. That's why he does so much symbolism, and I'll get to that later. So if you guys haven't seen the first video I made about him, the link is in the description below. I recommend you guys watch that video after you finish this one, because I really exposed him and his other characters. So there's been a lot of damage control ever since I made this video. Not only did he get arrested today, but also 2 days after I made this video, Andrew Tate posted this video, and pay close attention to what he says. He explains why he does symbolism in plain sight. And even though he's referring to companies like Balenciaga, you can tell that he's also referring to himself because he's a part of the agenda. So he's exposing his own agenda in this video. And in the second video, he says that he's lived many incarnations. So check this out.
This is very, very purposeful, and they've done it because they're trying to give you hints and trying to normalize and show you and tell you what they do. They're doing this because of karmic retribution. Satanists believe if they tell you what they're doing, if they make their intentions clear and you still adhere to them, that they are no longer responsible for the negative consequences of them. That is karmic retribution. I'll give you an example. If I have a stall of poisoned apples and I put up a sign that says apples and you buy one, I've poisoned you. But if I have a stall of poisoned apples and I put up a sign that says poison apples and you buy one, now you've committed. I have not poisoned you, you have committed. If you know what I am doing, if you know what I am selling, and you still comply and adhere, you are basically saying that all the consequences are erased. That's how karmic retribution works in the satanic world. They are making it extremely clear to you, on purpose, little by little, trying to show the world they are, because that way they will not be punished in the eyes of their God for their crimes. This is not just strange, unusual, some kind of coincidence. No, this is elites telling you that they are absolutely and utterly, and they are here to see if you are complicit in the actions themselves. Unfortunately, I do not have the old tweet, as I've lived many different incarnations upon the planet, especially on social media platforms.
So in the first video, he exposed his own agenda and the reason why him and every other celebrity put symbolism in plain sight, because they have to tell you the truth about who they are and what they are so that you can openly accept it and invite it in. You know, demons can only enter your life if you allow them to enter. So beware of celebrities and don't idolize them, because when you do that, you're allowing that demon into your life. And at the end of this video, I'll show you guys a tweet that Andrew Tate has where he literally says that he owns the minds and hearts of the masculine youth. So that right there should show you that this demon, also known as Nephilim or fallen angel, is trying to mind control children and young adults and his fans in general, but they love targeting the young people because they're more impressionable and easier to manipulate. But anyways, notice how in the second clip he said that he's lived many incarnations on this planet. So he's literally admitting in plain sight that his other characters are Anton LaVey and Austin Rivers, because what are the chances that right after I exposed him for having multiple characters, he goes out and makes that video 2 days later and he's admitting in plain sight his agenda and the fact that he's deceiving you with multiple characters. So here's a really good comparison of Andrew Tate and Anton LaVey. They look so much alike right here. And their youngest character is Austin Rivers. As you guys can see, he looks identical to Andrew Tate. So this one is not hard to see at all. Even now that Andrew Tate is bald, he still looks identical to Austin Rivers. And they even have the same gematria. So Andrew Tate's real name is Emery Andrew Tate. And Austin Rivers' real name is Austin James Rivers. So both of their real names have the same gematria of 70 in the same cipher. So not only do these two characters look exactly alike, but they even have the same gematria. And it gets even deeper than that because Anton LaVey's zodiac sign is Aries, and Austin Rivers' zodiac sign is Leo, and Andrew Tate is a Sagittarius. And the mockery with this is the fact that Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are the only fire signs. So this is clearly not a coincidence. What are the chances that these three characters look identical and all of their zodiac signs are fire signs? So that was a huge connection. But anyways, another connection is the fact that Austin Rivers' zodiac sign is Leo. And it's called Leo because it represents a lion, as you guys can see. And I found this very interesting because Anton LaVey has this picture with a lion, and he had hair in the picture, and he looks a lot like Austin Rivers right there. So that's a very interesting connection. And by the way, when I mention astrology and zodiac signs, I'm not trying to promote it. I'm simply using it because that's stuff that they do. All celebrities are descendants of fallen angels, and they love using the knowledge of this world. And astrology is one of those things. And astrology is considered science or scientism. And as you guys can see, scientism equals 666 in gematria. So I don't recommend getting into astrology and zodiac signs and all that stuff. It's all a part of this world, and you shouldn't be attached to things of this world. I'll make a separate video exposing astrology and zodiacs, but for now I just want to leave it at that because I know there's a lot of people that are confused about it and don't know if they should follow it or not. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. So another connection between Andrew Tate and Anton LaVey is the fact that Andrew Tate was born in Chicago, Illinois. And guess where Anton LaVey was also born at? Chicago, Illinois. So again, do you guys really think that's a coincidence? They were both born in Chicago and they look extremely similar. And all three of their names start with an A. And on top of that, Anton and Andrew both start with an A and an N. So there's so many connections between these characters, including gematria. Anton S. LaVey has the same gematria as his other character, Austin Rivers. They both equal 149 in the same cipher. Andrew Tate and Anton LaVey also have the same gematria of 39 in the same cipher as well. So clearly, these are all different variations of the same character. Andrew Tate and Austin Rivers are two characters that were based off of Anton LaVey. So that's why all of these characters look alike. Many people get confused as to what I mean when I say their characters. And when I say that, I'm referring to their vessel. Their vessels are not naturally created like real humans. When they're creating their vessels, they're not creative at all. So when they're designing one of their new celebrity vessels, it's like they're using a template of another character that they've already made. So in a sense, it's like Andrew Tate is a variant of Anton LaVey. Everything they do is recycled, including celebrities, music, words, and much more. Nothing they do is original or creative at all. People give them much more credit than they deserve because they're actually not smart at all. As you guys can see by this side-by-side comparison, they literally have the same eyebrows, the same eyes. And what really gets me about this one is that they even have the same ears as well. There was so many of you guys that pointed that out in the comments, that they literally have the same ears. They both stick out the same way. And you can clearly see that right here. So this one is very easy to see. You guys need to stop getting deceived by Andrew Tate and any celebrity in general, because they're all a part of the same agenda. So another connection is the fact that Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan. So it's interesting that Church of Satan has the same gematria as Andrew Tate's full name. Emery Andrew Tate III equals 214, just like Church of Satan. Another very interesting connection is the fact that Andrew Tate equals 666 in the Sumerian cipher in gematria. And this is definitely not a coincidence again, because Anton LaVey was a very evil character. He was deeply into witchcraft and satanic rituals. So I'm not surprised that his other character, Andrew Tate, equals 666. And the Bible warned us about the 666. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So the number of the beast, aka the number of Satan, is 666. And notice how it also says that it's the number of a man, because our bodies are made of carbon, and the number 666 relates to the carbon atom and man. Carbon-12, one of 5 elements in the human DNA, is composed of 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons, which equates to 666. Carbon-12 is the most abundant of the 2 stable isotopes of the element carbon, accounting for 98.89% of carbon. Its abundance is due to the triple alpha process by which it is created in stars, and as Carl Sagan had once said, we're made of star stuff. When the 666 of carbon is combined with the elements above and mixed with Lucifer, also known as phosphorus. Notice how the hyphen separates phos and horus, which I'll talk about later on in this video. When 666 of carbon is combined with the elements above and mixed with Lucifer, also known as phosphorus, we get a combination or reaction of chemical elements that forms DNA and RNA. This magical God-given chemical code carrier is the very code for all life, and of course it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Various chemical elements, when combined with carbon, forms our very material reality, or what some may call the matrix. 666 could represent many possible scenarios or conspiracies, but the truth is that this number was passed down to us for the apocalypse, the unveiling of something hidden, to help us identify this beast man with the mathematical number 666. The number 666 may be the sequence of DNA, genetic signals, or DNA fragments necessary for successful cloning. Yes, my friends, you and I may be the very beast and Antichrist our good friend St. John was warning us about. Research deeper and evolve with ethics, morals, and principles to become a spiritual and upgraded human with light and love. So basically what this is saying is that our bodies are of this world and they're made of 666 according to Revelation 13:18. So our flesh is made up of the number of the beast. You know, it's literally in our DNA. But keep in mind, we are not our bodies, we're not our flesh. So this is why it's very important to live righteously and to fight our fleshly desires to sin. And this is one of the main reasons why it's very important that I expose Andrew Tate, because he's really promoting materialism, which is greed and pride. You know, he's a very prideful character. Pride and greed are very terrible sins, and a lot of people don't see the problem with that in his character, but I'll talk about that later on in this video. So moving along, other things that match up with 666 are Andrew Tate, corrupt government agent, and Andrew Tate literally admits that his father was a government agent in the CIA, and I'll show you guys a video where he admits that later on in the video.
My father, when he died, someone messaged me who was in, because my father was in the CIA, he held the record of the CIA record for the fastest assimilation of a foreign language.
I'll tell you something about my father. My father was literally a spy for the CIA, and they used to do insane things that you wouldn't believe, even inside of a coat hanger, to bug a room.
Make sure you guys watch this video all the way to the end, because I will be showing a lot of clips of Andrew Tate admitting many things that he's involved in. You know, there's even one clip where Tristan Tate admits that he's an agent as well. So $ also equals 666 in the same cipher. And that's not a coincidence, because what does Andrew Tate promote? Money and materialism and greed. So that's why his name matches with $. And it also matches with mark of beast, image of Satan, which is not a coincidence again, because his other character created the Church of Satan. And notice how Santa Claus also equals 666. You know, Santa is very similar to Satan. If you move the T to the left and move the N to the end of the word, you get Satan. And it's also very interesting that his name matches with Santa Claus, and he gets arrested 4 days after Christmas. And then scientism equals 666, wizarding, witchcraft, necromancy, sorceries, computer, illusion, insanity, peace on earth. And in the Bible, it says that when the Antichrist comes, he's going to make peace on earth. And a lot of people are going to fall for him because of that. But the peace is not going to last very long. And then sun, moon equals 666, providence, and dark matter. So here's some videos where Andrew Tate admits that he's going to hell. And he even says that he's going to take over hell when he gets there. So he's letting us know in plain sight that he's going to hell. And he's trying to take as many people with him as possible.
And if we all knew if I was going to go to hell, I was going to take over. I walk into hell and the devil's like, oh, I'm going to burn you. So you're going to do shit. Well, I'm going to stand there and let you burn me. You look like a bitch. No, I'm like these mask wearers. No, they burn you. You touch me, I'll f you up.
And then there's another clip that I'll show you guys right now where he talks about hypnosis. And if you guys remember, I talked about that in my Biggie Smalls video. I'll put a link to that video in the description. And even though he tries to dumb it down and say that he only does self-hypnosis, it's very obvious that he also knows how to hypnotize people when he speaks. And that's why he does so much symbolism. So check this out.
Going around TikTok now that I worship the devil or something.
Bro, yeah, something's going around like you have this satanic friend.
Yeah, so inside of my organization, which is called the War Room, one of the guys who works for us is a hypnotist. So he kind of looks like a bit of a magician, and he's a hypnotist.
Jeez.
And he's a hypnotist because he's very, very good at it, and two, we do a lot of self-hypnosis. We talk about how everything that comes out of your mouth is self-hypnosis. If you say that you are strong before you go to lift weights, you will do better than if you say you are weak. It's self-hypnosis. He's a hypnotist. He's a hypnotist who's part of the organization. There's pictures of me sitting next to him. This hand symbol, this. So I adopted it, and then I got comfortable doing it. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know where it's from. People are trying to find these old pictures of things and put it all together, but that's the internet, right?
And I don't think that I put a magic spell on anybody. And I'm certainly not the worst influence out here, Piers. You have little Nas twerking on the devil on music videos, which our children are digesting. But the point I'm trying to make is this: I'm not the devil. There's certainly worse people than me.
Notice how in that last video, he says that he's not putting a magical spell on anybody, even though nobody was asking him if he does magical spells on people. But he just really wanted to put that out there because he literally is. You know, he's mind controlling a lot of people. But anyways, now let's talk about the serpent, because a big connection between these two characters is that they both love snakes. As you guys can see, Andrew Tate has this very huge snake tattoo wrapped around him, and Anton LaVey has this famous picture with this snake wrapped around him as well. So again, that's another very interesting connection. The fact that they both have this snake wrapped around them. And this is very symbolic to the serpent from the Adam and Eve story in the Bible. The serpent represents Lucifer, who is a fallen angel. And all celebrities are descendants of fallen angels. So that's why they all rep the snake. And they put it in plain sight. You know, they both have this snake in plain sight. So they're letting you know in front of your face that they're deceiving you and that they're working with Lucifer. Also, Andrew Tate calls himself Cobra Tate, which is another reference to a snake. And Genesis 3:13 says, "Then the Lord God said to the woman, 'What is this you have done?' The woman said, 'The serpent deceived me and I ate.'" So the Bible clearly lets us know that serpents are deceitful and they're very evil and they're here to deceive us into sinning. You know, just like how the serpent deceived Eve in this story to sin and go against God. So obviously Andrew Tate does damage control. When people ask him why he calls himself Cobra Tate, you know, he tries to say that someone gave him that name because of his fighting style. So I'll play that video for you guys right now. But keep in mind, this is just a surface level reason as to why he calls himself that. You know, it's obviously way deeper than that.
Question for Tate. How'd you get the nickname Cobra? Be well, brother.
Yep, we good. It was given to me. Cobra was given to me because I fight with my hands down. I don't fight. I fight like Adesanya. We fight the same. We fight with our hands down. I was a karate fighter traditionally. I did Shotokan karate. I have 3 black belts in karate, so I fought with my hands down. So they kind of called me Cobra because my hands were always down instead of protecting my face. I'm perspicacious. One of my favorite words. I believe in perception. I like to see things. I believe in seeing into the future.
So now I'm going to show you guys a video that proves that his snake reference is deeper than just his fighting style, because Andrew Tate was on TV years ago before he was even famous for what he does now, which shows that he's an industry plant. You know, they love putting industry plants on TV in front of our face before they actually get really famous. But anyways, in this video, Andrew Tate literally eats a snake. And in the video, he also mentions that he drank the snake blood. So check this out.
You drank the blood. There's nothing wrong with killing a cobra before it's eaten.
So it's very symbolic that he drank snake blood and ate an actual snake, because this represents multiple things. You know, for one, it represents that he's a part of the serpent's bloodline, and it also represents that his motives are similar to the serpent, which is to deceive and manipulate us into sin. So here's a video of this woman giving this painting to Andrew Tate, and notice how this painting is a snake wrapped around 2 knights from chess. And in the video, Andrew Tate says that the 2 knights represent Andrew and his brother Tristan. So they're letting us know in plain sight again that they're working with the serpent, also known as Lucifer. So that's why this picture is a representation of that. You know, the snake is literally wrapped around Andrew and Tristan Tate, just like his tattoo.
Thank you. I'm guessing that could be me and Tristan, the 2 knights. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See, member of the family. We're family now. Amazing. Thank you very much. Sure, John, I'll find somewhere beautiful.
And also, I found it interesting that he loves using the knight symbolism from chess. You know, these 2 chess pieces are known as knights. And right here in his war room, which is a very weird thing to call this, he has this knight logo on the top. And the knight is a reference to the Knights of Templar and Freemasonry. The Knights of Templar is a fraternal order affiliated with Freemasonry. So now let's talk about his nickname Top G, because this is also a reference to Freemasonry. So according to his definition, Top G is an individual that is capable in all realms, a term created by a former chess grandmaster, Emery Tate. And as always, everything they do is double meaning, which means that this is just the surface level of what Top G actually means. But the second hidden meaning behind this is the fact that it's referencing the G in Freemasonry. You know, they love using this G in all their logos and in their lodges. And here's their main logo that has a compass and a ruler forming a diamond with the letter G in the middle. So this is why he calls himself Top G. And the G in Freemasonry stands for geometry, and is to remind Masons that geometry and Freemasonry are synonymous terms described as being the noblest of sciences and the basis upon which the superstructure of Freemasonry and everything in existence in the entire universe is erected. So as always, they're in love with geometry and science, which I talked about are all things of this world and are not good to be attached to, but for some reason they're completely obsessed with it. So moving along, this is why Andrew Tate does this diamond symbolism in plain sight. You know, as always, he did damage control with why he does this. You know, he tries to say that he got it from his dad and that it's a very innocent symbol, but it's actually not. You know, like I said, it's a big reference to the diamond in the Freemason logo. So this is why many celebrities do this. You know, he's not the only one. Trump has many pictures doing this as well, along with many other celebrities that I expose. Pretty much every single celebrity has at least one picture doing this. And here's Anton LaVey doing the diamond as well, and he's covering one eye in this photo. So don't be deceived. He's blatantly doing this in plain sight. And what really bothers me is the fact that people actually try to defend him for this, even though he's blatantly doing it right in front of your face. And they do so much mockery with this. You know, here we got Tristan Tate doing the same symbolism when he got arrested. And of course, their names are also connected to Masonry and Gematria. So Masonry, Andrew Tate, and Tristan Tate all equal 39. So there's so many connections to them and Freemasonry, including this tweet that Andrew Tate made recently. So he said, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars." So again, do you guys think it's a coincidence that he has exactly 33 cars and Masonry equals 33? But also I wanted to point out the fact that he's literally flexing in this picture, and flexing is pride. You know, he's committing the sin of pride by always flexing his Bugatti and all his other cars. This is all pride and greed. So pay close attention to these verses, because the Bible has so much knowledge and advice on what to do and what not to do. So Luke 12:15 says, "Then he said to them, watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." And what is Andrew Tate doing right here? Trying to make life about material possessions. Everything he does is materialistic, and that's his biggest agenda. You know, in my last video, people kept asking me, what agendas is Andrew Tate pushing? And this is it right here. His main agenda is to make us sin with greed and pride. So what is the sin of greed? The sin of greed can be defined as the excessive desire to acquire something. The most familiar form of greed pertains to material wealth. It is an attitude of the heart that places selfish gain at the pinnacle of human life. So being greedy is extremely selfish. And if you notice, in every single video of Andrew Tate, he's always talking about money and cars and material possessions. He's very obsessed with material wealth. Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless." So this is a very powerful verse. God is letting us know that if you love money, you'll never be satisfied, because you'll constantly be chasing your tail, trying to get more and more money, which is extremely greedy. Mark 8:36 says, "What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet lose their own soul?" Which is basically saying, what's the point of having everything in the world if you're losing your soul? Hebrews 13:5, "Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have, because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.'" 1 Timothy 6:9 says, "Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction." Proverbs 11:4, "Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death." So this is a very important verse, because this is telling you that wealth is completely worthless when you die. When your soul leaves your body, your money is not going to go with it. So what is the point? 1 Timothy 6:10, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs." So many people misunderstand this verse. They think that it says money is the root of evil, but it's actually saying that the love of money is the root of evil. And what this is saying is that greed is the root of all kinds of evil, not the money itself. So that's very important to keep in mind. So the next verse says, "But you, man of God, flee from this and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness." So it's telling you what not to do. You know, it's saying don't love money. And right here it's telling you what you should do. So now let's talk about Andrew Tate's dad, because he also does the same symbolism that Andrew Tate does in plain sight when he's playing chess. And I exposed Andrew Tate's dad in my last video about Andrew Tate, so go check that out if you haven't. I showed how scripted his death was, and the fact that he died while playing a chess game really shows how scripted his character is. Here's a video of Andrew Tate admitting that his dad was in the CIA. So this should be a red flag to anybody that supports Andrew Tate. If you really think he's real, listen to this.
I'll tell you something about my father. My father was literally a spy for the CIA. And they used to do insane things that you wouldn't believe, even inside of a coat hanger, to bug a room. It used to be extremely difficult to bug a room. Oh, the Amazon Echo. Let me just put it there. And it listens to me 24 hours a day, because every time I say, "Hey, Echo," it hears me. And I trust that the CIA and all these other intelligence agencies are never, ever, ever listening in.
When I was with my father, if he needed your phone number, he'd ask, "What's your phone number?" And you'd say it once, and that was it for the rest of his life. He didn't have to write it down. You tell him an address, that was it for the rest of his life. He never wrote anything down. He never had to repeat anything to him. My father, when he died, someone messaged me who was in, because my father was in the CIA. He held the record of the CIA record for the fastest assimilation of a foreign language. My father learned Russian within 2.5 weeks from zero. Like, really? He would just read a book. He just read the dictionary. Like, to these people, it's just like, just read it. When my dad died, James Altucher, do you know who he is? James Altucher, you can ask him about my dad. Him and James played a game, and it was a draw in the end. And James did a tribute to my father, saying that he was just a scary dude. Like, he was just supremely smart, right? So
when you were growing up, did you know your dad was in the CIA?
He had left the military by the time I was like 3 when he left.
Got it.
To pursue chess. So yeah, he was a linguist. He knew like 4 languages, and he was a professional chess player. And I grew up around this absolute supreme intelligence. And I always knew, even when I was a child, that I was smart, but I wasn't that smart. Like my beautiful mother watered me down. Like, I didn't have what he had. Like, he was complete. He remembered every chess game he'd ever played. So you could be sitting there and he'd say, oh, I played him in 1982, and he'll just go through the whole game. Or he could beat you at chess without looking at the board. So you'd have a board in front of you and say E4. He'd be in another room, C5, knight F3, knight C6, and he'd be cooking dinner and he'd fucking smoke you.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. He'd play simultaneouses where he played like 100 people in a row. So they'd sit there and they'd think, and he'd just go board to board, just make quick moves. He played a blind simultaneous where I'm just talking about different, you have a board and he has nothing. He played 3 people at once blind, beat them all. That's how good grandmasters are. This is what people don't understand about chess. Chess, I'm a kickboxing world champion, and I'm telling you, forget the UFC, forget kickboxing. The hardest sport in the world is world level chess. These guys are wired different. You can't learn it. You either have it or you don't.
So in those 2 videos, he blatantly admitted that his dad was in the CIA. And notice how he says that his dad was a grandmaster chess player. And that word master is used a lot in Freemasonry because the highest level in Masonry is Master Mason. The standard widely accepted Masonic rite has 3 degrees. They are entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and the highest rank that anyone can earn, Master Mason. So that's why his dad was a Grand Master in chess. It's a clear reference to Freemasonry. And there's even a verse about this word master. Matthew 23:10 says, "Neither shall you be called masters, for one is your master, even Christ." Here's another video of Andrew Tate telling a story of how his dad is in the CIA.
It's the sad story of my father, which I've never told, but I'll tell it now. My father was in the Air Force. He discharged. After they diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder, they offered him a full military pension, $6,000 or $7,000 a month, saying that, you have this mental disorder, we'll give it to you because you were such a fantastic member of the Air Force. My dad was actually in intelligence. Some right-wing people on the internet think I'm a CIA plant because my father was with intelligence. I'm not a CIA plant. But my father was in intelligence. So when my father joined the Air Force, he got on the bus, like everyone else did back then in Alabama, got on the bus, you go, you do an IQ test. My father did so good, they moved him to intelligence. And my father, to this day, still holds, I believe. At the time of his death, he still held it. The fastest assimilation of a foreign language. So they taught my dad Russian. He learned Russian fluently in 15 days, head to toe. So he held the fastest assimilation of the Russian language. I know that because when he died, I got a message on Facebook, Meta. I got a message on Facebook from a guy who I never heard of, just saying, "Hi, you don't know who I am. I was in the Air Force with your father. I heard of his passing. I just want to let you know that I was in the same place as your father. I was a linguist also for the Air Force. At the time, I was living with a Russian woman and we spoke Russian fluently in the house. And your father and I started classes at the same time. And I can say with certainty, the way your father learned things was inhuman. It was robotic. Within 3 weeks, he was correcting me on my Russian. That's who he was, right? So he spoke Russian and Spanish and German. We were also in Berlin at the fall of the Berlin Wall. So he did a lot of things. So he was a linguist. So he used to listen to the bugs. If they bugged a room, he'd listen to the bug in Russian and translate it. So that's what my father did. But anyway, when they discharged him, they said he had narcissistic personality disorder.
Also notice how in that video that I just showed you guys, he says that his dad was not human.
And I can say with certainty, the way your father learned things was inhuman. It was robotic.
Which I thought was very interesting because celebrities are not real humans. They're mixed with fallen angels.
In fact, for all of the Romanians watching, the former president of Romania, after the police came to our house that time, entertained the fact on live Romanian television that we may be Russian agents sent to make the country of Romania look bad. The former president said that about us, that it was a possibility. That's a completely true story. So, are we Russian agents? Нет.
It was very creepy how Andrew and Tristan laughed at the end of that video. It was like a devilish laugh. So now let's get into the scripting of Andrew Tate's arrest. As you can see, it says that Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate were arrested on December 29th. So what are the chances that Andrew and Tristan equal 29 in gematria in the same cipher? You know, this easily proves how scripted all of this is. Both of their names equal 29 and they get arrested on the 29th of December. I'll make a separate video exposing Tristan Tate and his other characters because he has so many other characters. And in that video, I'll go deeper into the gematria and the scripting of this case. But for now, here's some clips of Andrew Tate doing predictive programming of his arrest. Because as always, they let us know their agendas before they do them.
Truth is this. So I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail. And if that fails, they kill you. So now I'm down to my last 2 lives, which is also why while I'm answering this question, I'm still being careful how I'm answering it. I'm not telling you that. It's scary because they've given me the warning and I'm still running my mouth.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
And who is they?
Well, that's a good question. Even if I knew all their names, I wouldn't say it here. But
why wouldn't you say it here?
I wouldn't say it here because they've already given me quite a few warnings. And I'm now at the point where I actually truly believe they're going to try and kill me.
So you've had messages from people trying to control you who you think would kill you?
I understand that you get 3 strikes in this game. Strike 1 is they try and shut you up and discredit you, which I've just been through. Strike 2 is they try and put you in jail for no reason. And strike 3 is they kill you. And one of my strikes is now gone, and I now firmly believe that they're going to try and kill me. And people have car accidents, people get robbed, people get shot. And that's the unfortunate reality. They look for quick solutions, and the easiest solution is to kill me. And I think it's going to get there. I've had serious, long conversations contemplating whether they're going to try and kill me. I would like to think they're not. If they decide to kill me on a long enough time frame, they're going to be successful.
So notice how in that clip he said that first he's going to get banned, then he's going to get arrested, and then he's going to get killed. So it's only a matter of time before they kill off his character. You know, I talked about that in my last video about him. Now check out this old video that I found where he's literally doing one-eye symbolism in plain sight for 3 minutes straight.
Next to me is Andrew Tate. Andrew, you're holding your hand in front of your eye. What the hell happened?
I had surgery on this eye 6 or 7 years ago, and it's something which I'll announce now because I think I'm at the end of my career. The main reason I don't fight with my hands up is because I have very bad eyes. And even if I take a punch on the gloves, it damages my eyes. I had surgery on my eyes. My retina's detached many times. I have bad eyes. This is just one of those things I have, and that's why I actually fight with my hands down. That's why I developed fighting my hands down, because I can't block punches. It doesn't work for me.
But even if you do block them,
even if I block, if my glove touches my eye, I go blind. And I've had a very long career, and I've done very well. But I was fighting Ibrahim. I was comfortable. He didn't hurt me. I heard him many times when I was hitting him in the body. I heard him go. My corner told me I was winning, and something touched my eye, and I told the referee stop. I wanted to try and wipe it. And then Ibrahim rushed in, and the referee started counting, and I still don't have vision left. This is 30 minutes later, so I wouldn't have been able to see anyway. I'm at this stage of my life now where my eyesight is worth more than a belt. When I was 21, 22, maybe I would fight anyway. I'm 30 years old now. My eye is fucked. I don't know what happened. Ibrahim is the new champion, and I congratulate him. I don't feel like I lost. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't feel like I lost. I wasn't beaten up. I wasn't beaten. He didn't beat me. It was just one of those things that happens in life, and either I can decide to come fight him again and take the belt off him, or I can decide not to, and that's something I need to think about. But right now I need to just sort my eye out.
But that's the main thing. Why even if you know you have a problem with your eyesight, why the hell do you go into the ring then?
Because I'm stupid. I don't know. I've been fighting for a long time. I've had this my whole career. And if you watch my fights very closely, you'll see sometimes I'll take a very small shot and I'll back up for a long time, and it's all eyesight. It's my number one weakness. Now everyone knows. It's my number one weakness. It always has been. That's why I fight my eyes down. My eye will be okay, but it just I wasn't able to fight any longer. I feel like I was winning. I don't feel like Ibrahim could have taken those kind of body shots for much longer. But that's what if. I don't live that way. Ibrahim's the champion. Respect to Ibrahim. Congratulations to Ibrahim. My eyes hurt. That's how it is.
It was really fun to watch you again in the ring for even as short a time as it was.
Yeah.
for now, sort your eye out. I really wish you the best, man. I've enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
And for now, everybody, King Cobra is here. But I hope everything is all right with this guy.
One of those things, man. Thank you.
Good luck. Bye, everybody. And like and share this video, man. All right. Bye-bye.
So again, he tries to do damage control and say that he's doing this because he hurt his right eye during the fight. But clearly he's doing this because the one eye is known as the Eye of Providence. And they use the Eye of Providence in so many symbols. It's in the back of the dollar bill. And it's also the Eye of Horus. The left eye is the Eye of Horus, and the right eye is the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Horus is related to the moon, and the Eye of Ra is related to the sun, which reminds me of the other thing I showed you guys. Sun, moon equals 666, and both of these eyes are referencing the moon and the sun. And also, this is the Eye of Providence, and Providence equals 666 as well. So keep in mind that he's covering his right eye in that video, which means he's showing the left eye only. So keep in mind the Eye of Horus is the left eye. So this is why they're always covering the right eye, so that they can only be showing the Eye of Horus, which is the left eye. And that's why there's artists like Lisa Left Eye. They make so many references to the left eye in Horus. So right here he's covering his right eye and he's showing the left eye. So when they're doing this one eye symbolism, they're letting you know that they're telling one lie and one truth. They love mixing truth with lies, and that's exactly what Andrew Tate's character does. And by covering one eye, they're basically symbolizing that by mixing truth with lies, they're only making you see half of the picture, because half of what they say are lies. So this is why I don't recommend watching Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate tells many lies when he speaks. And he says one little thing that's true, and people run with it as if everything he says is true, and that's how you get deceived. So if you guys remember 4 months ago, I made an entire video breaking down the all-seeing eye and the meanings behind it. So if you guys are interested in this video, the link is in the description below. I made this video because Lil Durk had a very similar situation as Andrew Tate. He was injured on stage, and of course, his right eye got injured, so he was showing the left eye, which is the Eye of Horus. Just like Andrew Tate, what are the chances that their right eye gets injured? So last thing I want to talk about is the fact that Andrew Tate's going to fake his death, and he's done so much predictive programming for this. So 15 days before he was arrested, he said if they kill him, he loves you all. And notice how Top G and Dead have the same gematria of 22 and 14. And like I said, he loves to call people his children, because in this tweet he said, "Hello, my children," because anyone that follows him are his children. Because in this tweet he said he owns the hearts and minds of the masculine youth. And then at the bottom he said that the Matrix will attempt to kill him soon. And it's not the Matrix, it's just part of his character's agenda. And then notice how he said that he would never kill himself. And the reason I bring this up is because remember earlier when I talked about how Andrew Tate equals 666 in gematria? Well, this phrase right here that I cannot say, but you guys can read it for yourself, has the same gematria of 666, just like Andrew Tate. And even in the base ciphers, they both have the same gematria of 111 and 60 in the same ciphers. So when they remove his character from the world stage, they're most likely going to say that he did this to himself. So Andrew Tate is a false prophet. He tries to paint himself as this holy person and godly person, but clearly everything he does is a sin. He's always prideful and materialistic and greedy. And here's a really good Bible verse about false prophets. So Matthew 24 says, "For false messiahs and false prophets will appear. They will perform great miracles and wonders in order to deceive God's chosen people if possible." So this verse reminds me a lot of Andrew Tate's character, because he's deceiving so many people, including God's chosen people. There's so many people that think he's a righteous person and he's deceiving them. So I hope this video really brought a lot of awareness to the fact that Andrew Tate is a deceiver, just like the serpent in the Bible. And that's why he has this tattoo on his chest. And the character that he's based off of is Anton LaVey, who also has a snake in this picture right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.